Bonjour Onion. Good afternoon, this is Kathy Chambers giving my weekly update. It's been 2 weeks, so I apologize, but was out of the area for meetings last week. As of today, we don't have any positive cases. We did have 2 positive cases. One was a vaccinated individual and the other was a child. However, those cases are now completed. All contact tracing's been done, so we currently have no positive cases. I do still want to urge the people that haven't been vaccinated to get vaccinated. Please think of your children. As you can see, the Delta variant and other variants are going across the United States and other countries, and they're affecting a lot of kids. So please be thoughtful and mindful of children if you don't want to get vaccinated. If they get sick, it's terrible. We really need you to get vaccinated. Our clinics are still giving vaccinations, doing testing. Our Net Lake clinic is 218-757-3650, and our Vermilion clinic is 218-753-2182. I do also want to mention that we are doing the emergency rental assistance program yet, and we are trying to find a replacement for Ed Villebrin, who has gone on to a permanent job. And so please call Beverly Steele if you have any questions regarding that at the Tribal Government Building, 218-757-3261. We know at some point the eviction moratorium is going to end soon, and we ask that you please apply as soon as possible. You'll never know unless you apply if you're eligible or not. It helps with your utilities, it helps with some back rent during the pandemic, but it also may help pay for future rental payments. So please apply for the programs. It doesn't hurt to find out if you're eligible, and if you're not, then at least you know you're not, but you may be eligible. The other thing is we do have that housing assistance fund, it's not housing, it's homeowners assistance fund that are available to homeowners. We'll be getting that out as soon as we get that finalized, but we will be also having that program because we have received over $700,000 for that fund. As you can see, from looking outside at your yards or even listening on the news about the somewhat drought we're having up here in Minnesota, we did get a ricing report from our biologist Chris Holm, who we call Doc, and he did say that our water levels on the lake are very low. The rice looks good out there, but there's going to be a question now, are we going to be able to get the rice? And when? If we don't get any rain pretty soon, there's a possibility that we may not be able to get at the rice. And so please, I believe Doc will be trying to put something on our website and in the Boys Fort News with regards to our rice and our ricing season. This past week we had a Tribal Executive Committee meeting, and on that agenda was a resolution for a referendum on enrollment. It's been recommended or suggested to have the tribes determine their own enrollment on this referendum. And so, however, at this meeting it was decided to send it to our Constitution Reform Committee, which they will be meeting on Friday, July 16th, and looking over that resolution. Our next meeting with the Tribal Executive Committee on this resolution will be in October at White Earth. So I can put that date on our website, and we can, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to let any of our council members know, or attend our meeting at probably be at Shooting Star at White Earth in October. There was also a meeting of all tribal leaders, either by Zoom or in person, regarding the boarding school issue. And what we've decided is we are going to meet monthly on the boarding school issue. We do know that there was 12 or more boarding schools just in the state of Minnesota, but the events that have happened up in Canada with the unveiling of the children's bodies up in Canada at those other boarding schools has prompted the Minnesota tribal leaders to take action. And so we are sending a letter to President Biden and Secretary of Interior Deb Haaland to invite them to our next meeting, which will be at the Lower Sioux community in August. And so I will be putting that letter in the Boys Fort News for everybody to see, but it's a very powerful letter. We really feel that it's the federal government's responsibility to fund any research as to exactly what happened. With regards to our kids in boarding schools, are there any children buried there? What exactly happened? Some were sent to institutions. And so we need to know the truth. And so, please, if you have any issues, or even maybe you have some stories from elders about boarding schools, please feel free to send those to us, or email us, send us a letter, whatever you want. It's great. We need that documentation, because a lot of our culture depends on oral histories, and with the losing of our elders day by day as they go on, we lose that data, we lose that information, and it's very important for us as Native people. I do also want to mention that there is a burning ban on in Minnesota, northeastern Minnesota, for example. And please remember, do not burn anything, because we had a fire here at Net Lake last week. We don't know how it started. It started in a ditch. It can be just a cigarette being thrown out the window. Everything is really dry. It's sad to see the rivers are very low. People's yards are very brown. So this drought is really taking a toll, not only on our rice and our lake, but also our rivers and streams and animals, everything. So please make sure that you watch your cigarettes, and please don't burn. The one thing I do want to mention lastly is our COVID or ARPA funding, American Rescue Plan Act funding. We are currently now having weekly meetings with our senior management and others, like our grant writer and others that are involved, our CFO, with regards to coming up with projects, and we have numerous amounts of projects, plus also incorporating our band member input. We have 5 years to take care of this, but there's also, in regards to the $20 billion that is available for tribes, there's going to be $12.8 billion also available through programs such as USDA, HUD, Indian Health Service, BIA. Those are monies that we also want to make sure that we access, because this is the first time again in history that we've received this amount of funding, and we'll probably never see it again in our lifetime. But we want to ensure that we'll do the best to our ability and the band members' abilities to try and meet some of the needs that our band members have and our communities have. We will be asking, and we still are asking, for band member input. You can email, write us, drop us a line, whatever you want to do, call us. We really want to hear from you, because it's important. It's for our next generations to come. I do want to say though that there is pressure from band members, and understandably so, because of the toll the pandemic is taking on us, to give all the money to the band members. And we would love to do that. However, if we did that, there would be nothing for our future generations. And there's also regulations that strongly suggest that we don't do that, because it could spark interest from the U.S. Treasury to come and see what we've done with our funding. Not that we're doing anything wrong with it, but that might be something that they'll say wasn't sufficient for recovery. So if that wasn't an allowable expense, we would have to pay that back. So we want to ensure you that we are doing everything in our power to look at the regulations and make sure that our projects fit what those needs are, but also incorporate our community projects with that from band members and anybody else that might have ideas. It is going to be a lengthy process, and I know people need help now. What we're trying as best as we can, but there's a lot of decisions, and the U.S. Treasury does keep coming down with regulations after regulations, a little bit at a time, furthering some of the complex decisions we have to make. So just letting you know that as soon as we know something with regards to the ARPA funding, some of the projects we're going to be doing, and when they will be happening, we will let you know as soon as possible. The Tribal Council has set the date for the 1854 per capita payment, and those checks will be mailed on August 13th, and I hate to say it, it's Friday the 13th. Our offices will be closed on Friday the 13th when the per capita checks are mailed due to staff training, and so we will be closed that day. And we don't know the dollar amount yet. I know people are wondering what that dollar amount is, but we will be getting that out. We have not received our check yet from the state of Minnesota. We usually receive it in the month of July. As of today, we have not yet received it. Once we receive it, we will let you know the amount, and we also encourage you to be patient, because we don't know until we get the check. The last thing I want to say is, if you have questions as band members and don't know who to go to, please give us a call, and we'll try to refer you off. Being that's my timer, no, just kidding. We will try to refer you to the appropriate departments in which to get your questions answered, and hope that you all stay safe. Get your vaccine if you don't have it. If you have questions, please feel free to ask, because if you don't ask, you don't know. And so also think of our children, the ones that can't get vaccinated. If you carry the virus and you're unvaccinated and get sick, you might get those kids sick. Our kids are very important. We got school coming up soon. I hate to say it, but summer's half over. So please be safe. Everybody have a good time. Stay warm, stay cool. Check your neighbors, make sure they're safe, they're hydrated, keep an eye on them and your family members. Be sure to also thank the Creator every day, because we've gone through a lot this past year and a half, and be thankful for what we have and what we've gone through, and that we're all still here. I also do want to put a big shout out to all of our employees who have weathered this huge storm. It's not over yet. Someday it will be over, but our new normal is coming, and what that will be, we really don't know until we get done with this pandemic. So again, stay safe, be good to each other, and have a good weekend or whatever, and I will talk to you next week. Gigawabamin, G. McWitch.